Okay, let's talk about apps for macOS, specifically utility apps. I've seen a lot of videos on apps for Mac, but only few of them talk about these types of apps. So in today's video, I'll be talking about some of the utility apps I use on my computer. And if you've not yet come across any of these apps, then they might be of help to you now. The first one is Raycast. Now, if you're a Mac user, then you're already familiar with Spotlight, which lets you search for stuff on your computer, mostly files and apps. Raycast is 10 steps ahead of that. You can search for files and apps, but you can also do a lot more with Raycast. With Raycast, you won't just be able to easily search for files or open apps. You can set up advanced workflows and scripts with it, or even use it for system controls. Instead of having to use the mouse to set your computer to sleep or shut down, you can just hit Command space or Option space depending on what you put it to, and type shutdown or sleep and enter. You can use it for window management to resize or move your apps around on the screen. You can connect your calendar and reminders app with it, so you can create reminders directly from it. My favorite one is the calendar schedule. Here I've connected it to my calendar, and whenever I have something coming up, it shows up at the top of my menu whenever I open it with Option space. And I also set it up to show up on my menu bar so I don't forget that I have something coming up. When I click it, it shows me my schedule for the day, and if I have a Zoom meeting coming up, I can just click and join directly from there, or maybe I just want to open my calendar for the details. It also has a lot of helpful extensions, whether it's for Notion, 1Password, and more. I use Bitwarden as my password manager and Authy for two-factor authentication. And I have the extensions installed here so I can just search for my password or 2FA token easily without having to open the apps. There's just so much you can do with Raycast that if I keep mentioning it here, we will be here for like 30 minutes. So go check it out and let's move on to the next one. The next app is Dropover. And what this app does is it lets you copy multiple files or apps or anything really from one location to another. Or if you are trying to copy multiple things from different locations, you can just copy it and just keep it there. It will open a shelf that you will keep it there for the meantime, whether temporarily or even permanently. And then you can copy other files from other locations and just put them there. When you're ready, you will just move it to the destination. This app alone has saved me a lot of time and frustration when moving things around my computer. Next is Hazeover. And what this does is simple. It dims anything that is in the background when you click on a window to focus on it. So when you click on one window and focus on it, everything behind that will just be dimmed into the background. You won't notice it. This has helped me a lot when I'm focusing or when I'm trying to focus and I get too many distractions, or I have another window open that has like an animation that has distraction animation. This has helped me a lot when it comes to that. If you're someone that uses multiple monitors, you can even dim all the other monitors or all the other displays, and you'll just focus on the one that you are working on. This next one is something that I've been looking for a long time. I never even thought that it existed until recently that I came across it. It's called Bumpr. There are other alternatives, choose you switch by, but the one I use is called Bumpr. And because I use a lot of browsers, it's very frustrating when I click on a link and it just automatically opens in my default browser, because sometimes it might not be open and I have to wait for it to load. Maybe I have 1,000 tabs open. That will slow down my computer significantly. So with Bumpr, it will just give you an option with all your browsers. You'll just be able to choose which browser you want to open it in. This has been very helpful and has saved me a lot of frustration. One thing that I would love to see, which I don't think will be implemented anytime soon, judging from the FAQ page, is choosing which profile you will want to open a link in. For example, I have 4 different browser profiles that I use for different stuff. So if I'll get to choose which profile I want to open a link in, that would be very helpful. Hopefully we'll see that sometime in the future. The last one is Amphetamine. And what this one does is it keeps my Mac awake all the time, because sometimes at the worst possible times, my computer will just go to sleep. maybe I'm downloading something or I'm running a process. So I could just set a trigger. For example, right now I have a trigger that whenever I plug it, I plug it in, it will just start. So it will start indefinitely. Or I could just set a couple of rules that maybe for 1 hour, for 30 minutes, or I could just set a drive alive where the moment I plug in a specific hard drive that I set, it will automatically trigger it and it will start a session, an indefinite session, or for a couple of minutes or hours. Or I could set it to a process when if it's downloading something, downloading a file, the moment it finishes that download, it will just stop automatically. I think there's a built-in feature in macOS for this called caffeinate, but I don't even really know where to locate it, so I just prefer using this. Plus, it doesn't have as much customizability as Amphetamine does. Those are some of my favorite utility apps for macOS. If you'd like me to make a video of some of all the apps I use for everyday stuff and stuff, or even software development, just let me know in the comments below and I'll try to make that video as well. As always, don't forget to hit the like button before you head out and click the subscribe button as well while you're at that. I'm Faisal and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.